So, for those of you that aren't aware, recently Mr. Idubbbz has been losing a lot of fans. His career has been put in jeopardy because, in my opinion, and many others' opinion, he just keeps on making very weird decisions. So if you aren't exactly too aware of why I'm even saying this or why people have an issue in the first place, it's because a creator that was fighting on his boxing event, Creator Clash, recently got kicked off for some pretty stupid reasons. Now, the creator that I'm talking about is a guy that goes by the name of Froggy Fresh. If you don't know who he was, he's some guy that was memed on in 2016.
Cause I am the baddest of them all.
But basically, what even happened was, he was signed to the event, he was going to fight, he went on Twitter, started making some memes towards his opponent, who if you don't know is Chris Raygun, accusing him of taking drugs and just being a memer, being a funny guy. And they were fine with all that, that was all cool. What they took an issue with is he made a Twitter video, chatting shit about Chris. In the end of it, he says if he loses, he will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans, who if you don't know, is Idubbbz's girlfriend. Then, as all normal mothers do, her mum got involved on Twitter. Why does her mum have a Twitter? And then she started basically saying that she wanted to get the guy kicked off the event and swap him out for someone else. And she called him an imp. I don't know if an imp is an insult, because I'm not American, you know. Us British people have actual good, proper insults. Then Froggy, being the troll, he basically quote tweets his mum making fun of Idubbbz, which is a bad move these days, mate. You know how Idubbbz can be. He's a bit sensitive nowadays. Can't really take a joke. But yeah, then to everyone's surprise, he got kicked off the event. Who could have seen that one coming? But then, to everyone's surprise, everyone started shitting on Idubbbz. I wonder why that happened. Now, but on a real, everyone started publicly expressing their disdain for this decision, even though a lot of people didn't actually know who Froggy Fresh was before this. They just weren't happy to see someone get kicked off for something so minimal. And if we're being realistic, irrelevant. Who cares that he had a bit of back and forth with Anissa's mum? If anything, Anissa's mum started it. Actually, this guy's the only guy that's been providing some sort of build-up for the fight. I know Creator Clash's whole gimmick and meme and selling point is that they don't make people create fake drama. But admittedly, that's why people buy into boxing fights. They enjoy the fake drama. They know it's fake, but they enjoy it. It's entertainment. And at the same time, promotion. But I don't know, maybe Idubbbz just don't care about the charities. Come on here, mate. I thought this whole event was a charity organised event. Do you not want as much people to show up as possible? Because by kicking Froggy Fresh off, you have now isolated his fans that wanted to see him on there, which in result will probably lose the event a decent amount of money, especially considering now because of this drama. Everyone's saying they want a refund for their tickets. People are saying they don't want to support this anymore because you and Anissa have been taking stuff way too personally and they're just not happy with how you guys carry yourselves. But after they kicked him off, they then brought out this tweet where they gave a bunch of odd reasons as to why he got kicked off. Like, for example, on March 29th, they released this statement where it's like, as you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh will be leaving Creator Clash 2 ticket. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision. To help clarify some of the online chatter, we have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with Creator Clash this year. They also, in that statement, go on to absolutely explain none of the violations, leaving people with more questions. Like, this statement didn't really solve anything, it just caused more questions to be asked. Now, I assume the reason they haven't really specified anything, any reasons of the violations, is because they probably have a contract and their lawyers are advising them not to make anything public. And if that's true, it's probably possible that they could sue Froggy Fresh because Froggy Fresh has been yapping a lot on Twitter. He's been saying a lot of stuff that could probably get him in trouble if there is a legally binding contract that he signed. But anyway, moving away from all the Twitter stuff and circling back around to the joke that he made about Anissa. One, this event is for charity, so who cares? I feel like for charity, you kind of have to just suck up all your feelings and just put on the event because admittedly, Froggy Fresh, while being controversial to the event, is gonna bring in money. If you really cared so much about the charities, you would just suck up your feelings about that shit and just let the event continue. And not only that, away from the charity side of things, why is that bad that if he buys Anissa's OnlyFans, mate, he's giving you more money? I don't know, man. I don't see an issue, personally. I thought it would have been a win either way for them, but apparently Idubbbz is not only a cook these days, he also just doesn't like money. And then to make the situation worse, Idubbbz and his wife Anissa have just been blocking everyone that has something negative to say about this situation, which, not to sound like a cringe guy, because I know everyone says, oh, old Idubbbz, but Idubbbz back in the day would have shouted on anyone that did this stuff. They are completely blocking out all the criticism towards the event and then hiding behind the guise of, oh, but it's for charity, man, which in my opinion is just completely pathetic. And one thing those two are struggling to see is that even after they've blocked everyone, even after all this stuff, most people would probably forgive and forget if they just reverse this decision. That's all people want. The guy was quite very falsely and unfairly removed from the fight. I doubt in his contract there was any rules stating that he can't make fun of Anissa, he can't make fun of Idubbbz. Now, while yes, sure, could call that common sense, you could say don't diss the event organisers, it probably wasn't in a specific set of rules. And I know that's like nerd emoji moment, but it's true. If you don't want people to do certain things, put it in a fucking clause instead of just assuming all the fighters are gonna act the same way. And not only that, with that being said, they could have just called him up, messaged him, DM'd him, anything, whilst he was making those tweets and been like, mate, chill out. You're making Anissa a bit uncomfortable. Could have just given him a heads up to avoid this entire situation happening. But because, even though they don't want to admit it, because it was done purely on emotion, it was like a spur of the moment kind of thing, they're now just kind of forced to stick to that decision, even though it's very obviously the wrong one. Okay, so you know how earlier I said that it's very possible that they could sue him? Turns out that's actually happening, because in this Twitter space that I'm about to show you, run by Keemstar, basically what Idubbbz and Anissa do for all their fighters is they give them a monthly like allowance kind of thing to spend on training. And it turns out, because they kicked Froggy Fresh off out of the blue, no communication whatsoever, it turns out Idubbbz is now suing him to get all that money back.
Harley, I heard a rumor that they're
Damn,
like
they didn't give you
threatening
money.
to sue. I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I heard a rumor that they're threatening to sue Froggy Fresh. So I don't think it's
Bro, that would be a fucking game changer. What the fuck?
Hell no.
I can't give up my sources, but I do have a source that basically said that they were like you know, that they're threatening to take legal action. So
Well, here's the thing. If I were in their scenario, and I'm making this up once again, I always got to state and so you guys know it's from my brain. I would absolutely call a lawyer.
But obviously, that is coming from Keemstar, so take it with a grain of salt. If they do actually sue him, though, that would be such a stupid move on their end. I mean, they willingly gave the guy the money, so what is there to sue him for? You kicked him off the event, you also willingly gave him the money. I don't see any way that he's wrong in that situation. But yeah, that is going to be all for me for today's video, boys. I do appreciate you for watching. This one was more of kind of a rant video than like a news type video. I bring you the news. If this situation continues to develop and gets worse and they do actually end up suing him, I'll make a more in-depth video just going over everything and absolutely destroy Idubbbz. But yeah, that's all for me for today's video, boys. I do appreciate you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow my Twitter, please. Join my Discord server. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, boys. Goodbye.